Good morning, everyone. Shadow Trader here. Thought I'd do a quick market update. I usually like to go through all the time frames, especially when it comes to Monday morning before or right after the markets open. Uh, anyway, if you could like this video, put a nice comment in there, subscribe to my channel, and let's start looking at the charts. Let's start with the Bitcoin chart. I usually like to start on the weekly chart and start to zoom in. Again, we have 6 days till the weekly closes, but as you can see, weekly is green on momentum, and it's looking healthy for a push up. And these are higher time frames, so you have to be careful. But Bitcoin is looking strong for a push up on the weekly. Um, so hopefully we'll get something like this later this week. We're gonna have to see how it plays out. Like again, we have 6 days. I don't like to enter until at least half the candle is closed. So we have a couple days before I enter on the weekly. And then I just start to like to zoom in. I just straight down my time frames, and we're just going to stick to the higher time frames here. We're going to go through multiple scenarios. So the 3 day is looking a little weak. We are in the red. This is the reason why you continually zoom in. Again, what I'd like to see is price action somewhere range in here. We turn green on momentum. We do not drop past this previous peak, and we long halfway in the candle or so when we get a green AO. And hopefully we push up. Continue zooming in. How Bitcoin's looking. Bitcoin's looking fairly strong on the 1 day charts. So we actually had a nice price push down, strengthening AO. So longs are looking good. So right now, if I have multiple time frames, such as the 1 week turning green, the 1 day, hopefully the 3 day will follow. This is when I start looking and layering in longs. Same thing with the 12H is looking strong. As you can see, prices drive lower. We got some green AO bars down here. So I would actually, and I will later today, again, we're very far away from close, but in maybe 4 or 5 hours, let's see how the markets react. They are making a move up. I will start to layer in longs on Bitcoin. Same is happening on the 6H, looking strong. So the only one that's looking a little weak is a 3 day at the moment. And then I could usually stop for higher time frames at the 4 hour. But 4 hours not looking bad. AO is sticking just below the balance line of 0.0. So I will be layering in a couple hours as long as these charts stay green on momentum longs. Let's look at the US 500 because I like to state all the time, and many do, the US 500 and Bitcoin are very highly correlated. So right now, you're looking at on the weekly, ping and resistance here around 3664, but it has a strong divergence, right? You can see the divergence here that this remains flat. It's gaining strength momentum. So you're hoping, again, 4 days till the next bar open, but you're hoping that this remains, it starts to level out the AO here to see a push up, right? You don't want to see the AO just tail down, and that really won't happen until price tanks. So on the weekly, the 500 is looking good. But again, it takes some time. It takes patience for this to play out. 3 day, same thing, looking attractive for longs. So this Bitcoin should follow. So we're looking good for longs at the moment. Nice divergence. Drop back below balance line, but hopefully we get a couple green AO bars. Do not go past this peak and we push up. Let's continue zooming in. So the daily is looking pretty awful. As you can see, the price is driving below the previous peak. So we're not having a setup here. We need the green AO bar when the price is higher than this previous peak. So not lower. Continue zooming in, still looking awful. Uh, Again, driving lower than this peak. So I do not like, same thing with the 6 hour, driving below, driving lower. And 4 hour, drove lower. So right now, there is no really clear setup on the 500. It looks weak. I will wait for this chart to play out. Again, these are correlated Bitcoin and US 500. At the moment, Bitcoin is looking fairly strong. I will put some small longs in. Hopefully, the US 500 catches up. But at the moment, I'm only going to put small ones in because I would really like to see the US 500 look stronger. So on the higher time frames, I'm sticking away. I will only scalp or swing intraday swing trade. All my longer term plays, what are usually a week to a month or two, I'm only going to put small longs on Bitcoin at the moment. Not going to risk any more. So, and then now let's go through maybe gold. I'm just going to go pick a couple random ones as we go through this. So gold, as you can see, no clear setup right now. We are driving lower than this previous peak. So we're just driving down on the weekly. Let's zoom in, 3-day chart. Again, you had a peak form here, red, green, but then, right, down, but we drove past this peak. It was looking fairly strong here, gold. Um, but at close, it just tanked right on the next one, unfortunately. So gold is looking weak as well. Really everything, I mean, we're in a recession, guys and girls, and it's just everything's looking pretty awful. Um, and I expect going into Q1 next year, everything is going to get worse, even the end of this year, especially as the inflation gets worse. They're going to try to curb it by jumping interest rate hikes, probably another 75 BPS on the next, I think, November meeting, early November meeting. So yeah, everything is looking pretty darn awful. And let's maybe do Ether, the powerhouse, and then we'll go through some more as the days advance, or what I have for updates here. So let's start with the weekly on Ether. So Ether is looking pretty strong here. Hopefully we're seeing a bottom out here, at least on the weekly. Nice strengthening of the AO, but again, we just opened the week last night, 12 hours ago approximately. So I'd like to see this play out where price sticks or drops a little lower and we get a green AO bar on the weekly, upcoming weekly. Let's zoom in. 3-day. So in reality, 3-day here was the short. Um, Price couldn't break higher, weakening AO. 3-day chart short here. Could have got a nice 100-point move here if you would have shorted somewhere in this candle, because you would have shorted on this candle on a lower push up. The price didn't break this peak. Would have shorted somewhere in this candle. Say you even got in, at the bottom around 15. I'm sorry, this candle here. Say you would have even got in the bottom somewhere at 1350, 1360, and it did break down to 1220. You could have caught a nice move here. So you would have shorted this candle on the 3-day, and you would have had a nice move there. I missed that one, but it's okay. I don't always catch them. But on the daily, Ether is looking not too bad here, generally speaking. But again, I'd like to see the price break lower as momentum is increasing. So as you can see, the price is going up, and right now, momentum is flat. You ideally want to see something like this to enter longs on the daily. So Ether is 50-50 to me. Nothing looking great or strong, and it just looks like we're ranging. So, and really, if you look at it, let's go back to Bitcoin here. You look at this is the 12 hour, so you can see a nice range forming here, getting weaker and weaker on each push up. So it's flagging out. I don't like patterns, but we are starting to see a flag here. Um, and it's starting to squeeze the price. But as you can see, Bitcoin's gonna, struggling to break 19.6 or so, struggling to break down below 18,000. Each bulls and bears, each push is getting weaker and weaker. So let's see where the week plays out. Right now, I'm looking to layer in some longs on Bitcoin only on higher time frames, continue to scalp an intraday trade on lower time frames using this methodology. But right now, we're just ranging in a purple box, squeezing, flagging, and eventually something's going to pop to the upper part of the range, and we'll see where we react. And same thing on the lower part. If one of them are going to pop, right, eventually. So we'll wait later this week. If you guys have any questions, feel free to place them in the comments or contact me on Twitter directly. And hopefully you learn something. If you can, hopefully keep this content free. I hope that you guys sign up for my referral link in the description of the video below and trade on the referral link. That just helps keep this content free. Other than that, I will continue to do these updates, hopefully daily. So the next update will be tomorrow. I'll go through Bitcoin Ether and then maybe pick some alts tomorrow. And then anything you guys want charted too, you can once in a while place them in the comments and I'll try to get to them during the next video. All right, guys, have a great day.